Some of the inspiration that kind of brought all of these sort of things together. So it was funny because we went from like, I want it to look like a comic book, to I want it to look like a Renaissance painting, to I want it to feel like some kind of ancient kind of visual concept. And it was just like, okay, it's just one at a time. And you just go from one to another. Sometimes it's like that with creative people, especially visionaries. It's like they have the vision, but finding the words to pull it out was kind of difficult. So I just literally showed him all of my type of artwork. He picked out different things that he liked from it. And then I was like, okay, let's go to what my inspirations are. What we got here? This book here, right here. You see this book right here? Massive inspiration. Secret Wars, Marvel, Jonathan Hickman's run, Asad Ribic, yeah? This guy, his artwork, it's like epic, like, right? He gets the coloring right with his work. He gets, I don't know, there's this kind of regal, but really simplistic way that he uses colors and gradients to just define things epically. Has these giant structures, but then he really captures the characters' sort of essences. I get a lot from this book. In this book, there's like a battle between a giant version of the Thing versus Galactus. It just all kind of comes together quite nicely. See that? And also the covers are also super dope on this book. On this run, they have these really kind of like painterly effects that really like give a sense of gravitas. And from this, you can link this to Renaissance paintings. I don't actually have that many Marvel comics, you know. I've always been a computer game kind of Donny, but they all kind of work together. I definitely say this book was a massive inspiration. Just the whole assembling of epicness. Secret Wars 2015. Next book. Another Marvel one, right? But this is like this film right here, Into the Spider-Verse. Yo, you see this film right here? One of my favorite, actually, it's hands down my favorite animated film. It just brings together so many really dope like elements. The street art in it is amazing. Like the New York skyline and the scenes and all of that is amazing. It's very, very comic book. It's a comic book. What can I say? But it's probably the first comic book animated film that I think they done 100% justice on it, man. They made a whole new visual aesthetic and a whole new engine just to get the feeling, the comic feeling right in this. Yo, I had to get the art book, man. It was hard to get. It was actually hard to get, but I got it. And I think it works well because the style of this movie works really well with my style, because I use a lot of big, thick black lines with my work. Create that kind of graffiti / comic book aesthetic, which I think works really well, especially with like the Green Tea Peng tune, What More. With that one, I was just like, stuff it, I'm gonna have all these dynamic lines and, you know, perspectives and stuff like that. And I guess this book also brings together just the dynamism of really funky angles and, you know, really capturing each panel as if you're in Spider-Man's sort of view when he's swinging from one place to another. I'm chatting loads, but honestly, Into the Spider-Verse definitely heavily inspired me when working on this project. And then when it came to like the ancient feeling that I was trying to create with the cover especially, there was a lot of back and forth with me and Swindle about how we can make it feel like, just like as if there were musicians coming from a distant land with their superpowers. They're coming from the hidden parts of the industry to come and bless people with, you know, truth or true sounds, or an organic, untampered with sort of power. You know that one famous painting of like Adam and that big bearded god guy where he's like this, Adam's like this, and then God's like, oh, kind of like that, but you know, swapping the faces, you know, having it be us and our characters and our aesthetic to create that real regal, mythological kind of aesthetic. This freaking game right here, you see this game right here? Journey 2012. It's one of my favorite games ever made. It's one of those games that you can give to somebody who's not a gamer and have them play it, and they'll finish it in one sitting and they'll become a gamer. It's that kind of game, Journey. I don't want to talk too much about this game, but just look at this. You know that real feeling of just being amongst ruins and ancient artifacts. And yeah, this has always been a good reference point for me when it comes to stuff like color and atmosphere. Yeah, like the whole speakers being like pillars. We went for the Roman and Greek aesthetic, but don't think I didn't jack color ideas from Journey. I definitely did. Yeah, those are some of the things that inspired me to create the visual aesthetic that I did for Swindle's project. And the album's dope. I really hope I did a good job of depicting the heroicness of this album and the kind of supernatural effect that kind of music can have. I ended up drawing like all the people on the project, like character by character, doing it all on Procreate, just coming up with all the character designs, going back and forth with Swindle and some of the artists. Oh my days, Akala was the longest. Yeah, like it's not like I ain't drawn people on likenesses and stuff like that before. Like I do that all the time, but for some reason getting Akala right, Akala and Nux, those two, getting their facial structures right, and they're very distinctive people, but for some reason I was struggling. But nah, we got there in the end. Yeah, man. Out on Apple, out on Spotify, out on Deezer, out on all of the appropriate streams. Listen, if you can though, cop that vinyl. Still, you'll be able to get the artwork big. I'm getting mine, fam. They better send me one, boy, because I want that. I want to add that to my collection, fam. All right. With that, like, subscribe, listen to the album. Let me know, drop it in the comments if you've heard the album already. Let me know what your favorite track is. Got any other links to other people that want me to make dope comic art? Holla at me. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace.